Hello, everyone. I am Jen Ritchie, and this is Wildlife Conversations. It's going to be a great discussion today, and I want to thank those of you who have already submitted questions and who are joining us today. But at first, I want to thank Robert's Camera and USEDPHOTOPRO for partnering with the podcast. Family owned and operated since 1957. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff are there to answer your questions, find the right gear for you, and help you accomplish your vision. With one of the largest inventories of new and pre-loved camera gear in the country, they have the gear you need at the prices you want. Find the exclusive contact and coupon code for Wildlife Conversations listeners in this episode's description. Well, let's get to our guest today. My guest today is Canadian, but based in the UK, but also in Kenya a lot. He's a Wildlife Photographer of the Year alum and describes himself as a general curmudgeon, which I love. I think he's someone who just cares a lot about this craft, and I can't wait to talk to him about his 44 years of photography. Help me welcome wildlife photographer Vince Maidens to the podcast. Hi, Vince.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to have you. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, it's lovely to be here.
Yeah, I think we started following each other this year, actually. But
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna admit something. I had seen you on Threads before that. And so
Okay.
I was like, I don't think this guy's gonna like my photography. I think he's talking about me. He's very opinionated.
Uh-huh. It's funny. A lot of people
I'm like,
think
I
I'm
don't know
talking about
about this
them.
guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you contact me and we have like totally have dialogue and conversation. And it was like, yeah, this is not, yeah, you're totally nice and kind and just like so supportive.
Don't
I
blow
won't
up my
tell you.
spot. Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
tell anyone. But so supportive of me. And so one of the reasons you reached out, which we're going to talk about in a second, was just like some of the topics I cover about women in photography. And so we're going to talk about that today. But I'm really glad that you get to be on, and
Yeah. Thanks for
I'm
inviting me.
looking forward to our conversation. So speaking of those opinions, one of your faithful followers told me a few things that you are very opinionated about. So we do a speed round at the
Oh
end.
boy. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a speed round at the beginning and a speed
Okay.
round at the end. But the speed round for you right now is just 1 or 2 word answer.
All right.
I want to see what happens.
I'll try.
Okay. So what do you think about hides?
No.
The answer is no.
Yeah. No.
Over edited images?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Posting mediocrity for the sake of posting on Instagram?
Oh God. Stop.
Followers and likes equaling talent?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I love it. See, this is going to be good. I can already tell.
All right.
Okay, so let's start with that really good Substack. You have a great Substack.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've been reading over it and I really enjoy it. And I think I first was introduced to it with your article, The Privilege of Being a Visible Man. And so not that we're a podcast that bashes men, because I have 4 sons. I am married.
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Yeah. I have a lot of guy friends, and my photography mentor is a guy. So, but it has been a topic on this podcast. And then one of the reasons this podcast started is because, people feel invisible. So,
well, yeah.
tell us a little bit about that Substack.
I don't think I was guilty of ignoring women in the past, but I probably gave them more space than I probably needed to. And the reason I say that is because you tend to get so much space that you're absolutely ignored. And it's really quite rude of us. So it either goes, you are invisible as a human being, or you are talked down to, mansplained, like you don't have a clue what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Both are equally as bad as far as I'm concerned. I shoot a lot with Charlotte Rhodes, and we'll be in the same spot. She is incredibly talented. She's probably a better photographer than I am. She'll see this, I'm sure. So
say a lot of good things.
Yeah. I mean, she's a tremendous photographer, and will be someplace, some reserve, anywhere. And the herd of gentlemen will speak to me and completely, she doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And you know, I think part of her is happy that they don't bother her because it's usually not really worth the conversation. Um, and two, it's also quite hurtful because nobody wants to be treated like they don't exist.
Yeah.
And I think women in the field, especially in a hobby that is mostly wilderness based, mostly outside, with guys in camouflage, which is the typical uniform. Um, you know, it just tends to be where, you know, women are going to be relegated to the second class citizen that they aren't.
Mhm.
And I find it really wrong. And I get really annoyed by it. I've said many times to, you know, I'll bring um, her into the conversation. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, we just move on usually
Yeah, that's
because
interesting.
there's no point in, I'm not going to reward crap behavior. Right. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
you know, if that's, I mean, if the reward is talking to me, which I don't understand, but you know, I'm going to move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't think it's right for people to act that way. And you'll see, you know, oh, you know, I've got this, I have that same lens, like if she's got a 600 or whatever in her hand.
Hmm. Hmm.
And, you know, oh, I've got that same lens at home, but today I brought my, you know, 4 pound,
Yeah.
you know, used whatever lens is just as good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, you get the whole mansplaining thing going on, and it's just, I don't understand it. And they always want to know how much it costs, and they won't. They'll either ask her what it costs and look to me like I bought it, or you know,
Right, exactly. Yes, yes.
yeah. I
And
mean,
you
it's
said, like,
just,
I've never been asked, like, "Can you carry that thing?" or "Does your
oh
does your
yeah,
spouse carry your gear?"
I've never had that question. You know, nobody's ever
Yeah,
asked me
yeah.
that, right? So yeah.
No, I've been doing this thing on Instagram, like, what women photographers hear, and
Oh yeah,
it's
I saw that.
amazing,
That
and
was
then
good.
people will put more things that are said, and it's just, like, it's hilarious some of the
Oh
stuff
yeah.
that is said. I've actually had a man say, "Can you stand there right there and hold that? Because 'Cause I'd like to take a little picture of a little girl with a big lens." A little girl with a big lens. I'm like, I think at that point
Uh,
I was probably 50 and I'm like, "Little
yeah.
girl with a big lens." Like, that doesn't make sense.
You can't even take it as a compliment, right?
No,
It's
no.
just, yeah.
No, but I
So,
appreciate you writing that, and it's sad that men have to write articles like that, to, like,
well,
to
it's
bring
just weird,
awareness, but
right?
it
I
is
just don't
weird.
know why we can't treat each other as equals in that
Yeah,
respect. So,
yeah.
um, yeah,
I mean,
I don't get it.
because men
Yeah,
and women are making just amazing work.
absolutely. Yeah,
It is equal. And I was telling you that there was, well, I think that sometimes, I don't know if Charlotte feels this way. She's going to be on next year in the beginning of the year. So I'm excited to talk to her. But I was saying, like sometimes there's power in being invisible. Like I
yeah,
kind of get to do what I want, and
right.
no one's watching, so I'll just do what I want and I'll
Yeah,
create what I want. But when it comes to representation and podcasts and YouTube and conferences, it's just strange to see a conference listed and it'll be like 20 men and one woman. And I'm
oh
like,
yeah.
no one in the committee thought about this. No one said
Pardon
anything.
me.
So anyway, I was going to tell you, like, when I was in the Tetons this last week, is exactly what you were saying. I walked up to, there were four of us, there were three of us there, and I was down a hill just below a couple men, and a moose crossed through this beautiful mist, and we were the only ones there. And I have never seen that happen before in that spot. So I turned to them to be like, oh my gosh, did we just all see that? And shooting it. And then another man walks up. They don't acknowledge me at all. No eye contact, nothing. Another man walks up. They all start a conversation.
Oh
I
yeah,
walk towards them because I have to walk up the hill. Still not, do not acknowledge me in any way. I was the one in the better position. I was the one getting the photos. Never acknowledged me in any way. It was just like, this is so strange. There's only four of us here in this peaceful spot. And then another man walked up and he did talk to me. And I said to him, that was awesome, wasn't it? And started talking. So
right.
I thought, okay,
So you
that's
got
just like
approval from some alpha male,
one
and they
out
all
of
started
four.
talking. Yeah,
One out
yeah,
of four. A really nice guy, actually. It was a really nice
yeah.
guy. But it was like, that was just like, why am I invisible? And then another time we were down on the river and it was a little scary. That's the thing. I don't think men realize like they are never scared in situations. And we
No,
are.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
I think you mentioned that in your article, in your Substack.
yeah, definitely.
But guys
Not
walked
wanting to
up.
take gear to places that I would never think twice about.
Right, exactly. And we definitely think twice.
Oh yeah.
You know, guys walking up and calling us names. And, you know, we asked them to stop using an elk call, which is illegal in the national park.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Started screaming names at us across like 40 yards away. And my daughter-in-law happened to walk up and by them. And when I got in the car, she said they all had guns too. And you don't want to know the names they were calling you.
Oh God.
You know, so it's like that. You don't think we do think twice because we were saying to each other, okay, we're scared. And we
Yeah. Well,
like went
yeah,
up
you
a
have to
different
be.
way and tried not to cross them, you know, because we were scared at that point, not even knowing they had guns. So I just appreciate you writing that. And
Yeah.
I don't know if anything will change, but hopefully things will change.
Oh,
There's a lot of great guys supporting women photographers. So as if more people like you are, you know, keep supporting.
well, yeah, I definitely will. I always think about it as I don't know if I can change any attitudes towards anything, but if I can get people to think a bit more,
Yeah.
then the little bit of effort I put into it is worth it. So,
Yeah. And
um,
I think your Substack does that. I think it makes me think for sure.
oh, well, good.
Yeah.
I hope you talk to more women then, because I mean, it's important. So,
Well, I think social media helps women. I mean, it gives us a platform. We don't have to ask anyone's permission to create an account, to create small businesses. It helps promote us. But you also talk about how social media has sort of pushed us to mediocrity.
yes, very
What are
much
your
so.
thoughts on that?
Well, I see a lot of limited talent, but unlimited quantity.
Mm,
And what I mean
mm,
by that is people that have amassed these massive accounts
hmm.
with very little to say.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
see the same type of image over and over. They will apply all of the Instagram algorithm buzzwords that are um, fruit of the moment kind of
yeah, yeah,
thing, that
yeah,
whatever's the flavor of the day.
yeah,
They'll apply the videos and the reels and all that stuff. Whatever the algorithm is dictating that will make you successful on the platform, they will
yeah,
do.
yeah,
It doesn't make them good. It doesn't even make them good, that's for sure.
yeah,
Because they're just producing quantity content, not quality content.
yeah.
And I think if you're going to have if you're going to try to build an authentic voice, which is what the name of the blog is,
Hmm.
um, you going out there and trying to put some thought, energy, um, plan into what you're shooting to make quality. You should be going out and striving for quality, not just taking snapshots because I need to fill my Instagram quota of the day,
Yeah,
which is what
yeah,
a lot of people do. And that's what the platform rewards. It doesn't reward people that are out producing incredible content. Um, I see it all the time, people with very, very small accounts, and they just languish. And it's not for the lack of trying, it's not for the lack of the quality, that's for sure. It's just the
hmm,
lack of
hmm.
the algorithm does not support their posting style. So
Yeah,
for me, a few years ago, I gave up trying, right? I post when I feel like it. I post a lot of stories,
hmm,
and that seems to be something that gets a lot of traction. At least it keeps the account alive.
yeah,
Doesn't do anything for my follower base, but
yeah, yeah.
whatever. Um,
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it worth playing the game anymore?
no, I don't think so. One of the reasons I started the blog too is because I can be myself there. I don't have to worry about an algorithm. People can choose to read it or not. And I
Yes.
have a longer form um, platform than I do on Instagram.
Yeah.
Images, I mean, clearly, if I was doing a lot of video, I suppose my account would be quite a lot bigger because that seems to be what is the flavor of the day.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't I don't enjoy video. I mean, I enjoy seeing it on occasion, but for me, video rarely registers longer than however long I watched it. I don't ever go back and think, oh, that video, remember that video
Oh,
5 years
that's
ago? It was so
true.
cool. I
That's
can't, it
true.
doesn't ever resonate with me. But there'll be people that there's images that I've seen from 10, 15, 40 years ago that I know the second I see it, that person's voice is heard,
Oh,
right?
that's
Where,
interesting. I've never thought about it that way. Like
yeah,
what sticks with me, yeah, that is so
yeah,
true. I can't play the game either. I think I'm just trying to focus more on community
Yeah.
instead of the numbers, because that just would get me so down. It seriously would get me in like a depression. Like, why didn't this post do well? Like, I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like it was a good image, you know, and it just wouldn't
Yeah.
do well. And I didn't want to play the reels game. I'm just not good at that.
No. Well,
And
it's not, I don't enjoy editing to begin with, and I really don't enjoy editing video.
I know.
So,
I know. I would
so,
spend like an hour making one and then it would crash or something. And
yeah,
I'm like, this is
yeah.
ridiculous.
Or you post it and you get 100 likes over a month or something like that. It's just,
Yeah,
why? It doesn't interest me. But it's
I know.
funny. I see the YouTube guys, and I'm going to just be frank. They are mostly shit. Um, there are maybe a few YouTube guys like Jan and Tin Man, and those guys are quite good, but the majority of them should not be giving people advice,
Mm.
or running around in the field doing what they do, because they
Yeah.
just don't have anything to offer.
Yeah, I was thinking
And
about that today before we talked. And I'm like, who is good? I mean, like Steve Mathis is my mentor and he is
yeah,
very,
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
an artist, and then I was thinking of Morton, like Morton's work is good. But he's not there for the numbers, These guys aren't there for the numbers. They're there
right,
because
yeah,
they
yeah,
love photography,
yeah,
and the wild.
yeah.
So it is very interesting.
Which,
Um,
if you're doing it for that reason, then it carries forward with the quality of the work that you do. I
yes,
think, at least. But if
yes,
you're just producing content to produce content because you're trying to hit this level of social fame,
yes,
which,
and monetize,
which,
yes.
yeah, right. Which, again, when these platforms die, which they all eventually do at some point, you've
Yeah,
spent all of this effort to cultivate this mass following, which
yeah.
is going to produce nothing for you on the next platform,
Yeah,
right?
it's so interesting. And I
So,
I started thinking like, why do I care? These guys are billionaires. Why do I care what they're doing? They're just
well,
making money off of me and I just can't care anymore what they're doing. Like,
I think the average, I did used to do a lot of work with Meta, and I think the
mhm.
average per user Instagram revenue generation was about $17 a year.
Yeah, yeah,
So you figure how many, or a month, I
right.
apologize, a
No, yeah.
month, right? So it's massive amounts of revenue that they're getting because of all these advert
Yes.
scrolls that come through your feed.
Yeah.
But you may not be paying attention to it, but they're feeding it to you. So
Right,
you may or may
exactly.
not land on it. If you sit on it for X amount of tenths of a second, you'll start getting more of those types of things. So
Right. It's
it
crazy. I know I was
so
mentioning meals to one of my in-laws, my parents and my in-laws are getting older and I was mentioning a meal company to them. This is probably going to show up again on my phone.
yeah, yeah,
But it showed up on my phone that night. Like, I'm like, I was just talking to them about this and here, and it happens
yep,
every day,
yeah,
So, but I just decided, like, I don't think I want to play the game for my own mental health. I can't play
yep,
the game. And for my own work, it has to be about the people and supporting people on there.
yeah.
And so that's how I've sort of redeemed it. I don't
Well,
know that
you'll
I
you'll
like,
build a better quality following
yeah,
that way. And
yeah,
I'd rather some one person message me and say, I really felt something when I saw that image,
yeah, that's so true.
than reach a thousand people that I get some well done mate, or amazing mate, just the same
Yeah,
circular
yeah. Well, I used to not show my
nonsense.
name on my account, so people thought I was a man. So it'd be like, "Well done,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah,
Awesome,
yeah,
bro."
yeah,
Like,
right.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, not bro. But Trish Hennessy's on here, and she says, "Don't tell anyone he's
Oh
not."
no.
But people are saying hello in the chat from Stevensville, Montana. So hi everyone. You can say hello to Vince in the chat, and you can also put questions in the Q&A. Hi from Arizona. Hi Lori. I'm glad you could make it. Her husband's having surgery, so I'm glad she could make
Oh
it.
God.
So nice of you. I know. So if you want to say hi to Vince, you can, and there's a Q&A box. You can add questions there as we talk. But I want to just say a little quote that you have on your website because I think it was really interesting. I didn't want to be a photographer. It all
Mm,
started when I was young with my father, who was an absolutist. Film costs money. You get it right in camera or don't make the image. I carried this thought in my head every single time I'm gone out to shoot since. It doesn't apply anymore in digital, but I treat each moment as it does. I want to make sure my work is as good as I can get it before I take it to post process. The least interesting part of current photography is the post processing. It's how I work into a nap.
yep.
And so I want to talk about that because
Sure.
I feel like maybe I'm new. I just started
Mhm.
in 2017. I'm new. I taught myself. I do have a mentor, but you know, you're teaching yourself lots of things. And I think probably missed out on things too. There are gaps. So I didn't have anyone saying, get it right to me in camera. I didn't really have any, you know, I did,
Right.
but when I'm teaching yourself at first, like for the first 3 years, you're just practicing and trying to get it, and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
probably relying on editing. But talk to us a little bit about that. And
Yeah.
then
So mine was a traumatic upbringing, basically. We would go out, we'd go searching for some acid rain-ridden pond with a dead tree in it that he wanted to shoot. And he'd hand me Ansel Adams' The Zone Theory book and say, read this,
oh my
understand it.
goodness.
And I read so many theory books before I was ever handed a camera
Oh,
because I needed to
interesting.
know how to use a light meter, and I needed to know what depth of field was and what
Mm-hmm.
film I needed, because I was on film on a medium format Mamiya C330 full frame box.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it cost quite a bit. I mean, at the time in the 80s, right? It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
quite expensive. And even though we had a dark room, it was still, chemical costs and paper costs and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, there wasn't any fooling around with him. If you're going to pull that shutter, then you're going to make sure that that's going to be correct. And you had no feedback on this until you got home, right?
Right.
Until you
Right.
actually did the dark room,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't really know what you had. So, I dreaded going home and taking the film out and putting it in the developer and the toner and then hanging it and waiting to see what mess I'd made, because I would get hell for making, costing money. So I either gave up, which I didn't have the option to, because that was it. That's all we
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
And or at least be competent enough to make an image that was, decent. So
Yeah.
it did teach me to go out and think and be deliberate and, not go out and just start shooting away, but actually spend time in the environment that I'm going in, learn the subject, look at the place, figure out what I wanted for a background, what I needed to do for lens choice, blah blah blah, whatever.
Right. Right.
The same stuff that we kind of do today, but way more diligently. So today, still, I will go plan my shoot. I wherever I am, I look around first, try to figure out what the best backgrounds are going to be, what kind of tones
Mm-hmm.
of color I want, the textures, the patterns I'm looking for, anything like that before I start shooting, because I still have it in my head is that I need to make it as good as possible in the camera
Yeah.
before I press that shutter. So yeah, I didn't enjoy it as a child, but I learned it because I had to.
Yeah.
And then when I got into wildlife, which I think we're going to talk about after,
Yeah.
that's when I started to actually enjoy it.
Yeah, that is so interesting. I mean, I love the post processing. I love it. So now I'm like, am I over editing? What does Vince think? Because it's
Well,
like, I love it. I feel like that's the artistic side that I get to bring out at then. I mean, I guess it is both though, because my eye is
yeah,
seeing through the frame and I'm choosing those things you were mentioning. And
that's right.
yeah. And then I love editing. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, there are people that will say they did very minimal amount of editing to their
Hmm.
stuff, and
Hmm.
you can tell it's a lie. But if people own the work and say, I did edit this, then fine, right?
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
created digital art. That's wonderful. If that's
yeah.
what you enjoy doing, that's great. For me, um, I try to think in a contest mentality where
Hmm.
the least amount of editing is allowed. So
Yeah,
that's the way I'm going to handle the situation. And I try to always do that, because I don't, even if it's the most mediocre place that I'm going to shoot, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, I'm going to look for that next winning image, because I would like to achieve that again.
yeah, yeah,
And I would like to do it wherever I am. And I never know if I'm actually going to see something that's important. So
yeah,
if I am, I want to make sure that when I make that image, it's clean, it's capable of being entered, and I don't have to think twice about it being questioned.
yeah. I think in the last couple of years, I've made myself like, you got to think about, you got to get more diligent about what's in the frame and don't think
Yeah.
like I can edit that out later,
Yeah, that's the thing that people get caught into, right? Is
Yeah.
they'll just see a mediocre situation and see there's all kinds of bad background. Well, I can blur that out and I can remove all this. And then what you have is a frame that you can post on Instagram, but you can do
Right.
nothing else with practically.
Yeah.
So, which people, if that's the hobby they want to have, then that's great.
Yeah. It
Huh,
is
yeah,
fun to open an image and be like, wow, I don't have to do much to
it's
this.
exactly.
It's pretty
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, exactly. Like no image is perfect. You always have to
Right.
adjust something. But
Yes.
if it can
Yes.
just be the small tweaks that it requires to make it exceptional, then why not try for that in camera?
Yeah. That is so good. And it's interesting how your childhood all plays out in that. And I hope you found some freedom in the cost of it
Oh yeah, yeah,
digital.
yeah, 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 yeah. But I still like there's some folks that are around that I shoot in proximity to, not with.
Mhm, mhm.
But I'll hear them say, "Oh, I shot 4 or 10,000 images this morning, and then I went home and processed them." I'm like, that one, it sounds like the second level of hell
Yeah.
to me,
Yes.
and two, I don't know how you make an image that you actually feel you were a part of. Um,
Oh, I see.
by
Yeah,
just
that's
blasting
interesting.
away. I like to be like camera traps and stuff like that. You see some fantastic images, but I feel very disconnected when I look at the image. It
Yeah,
always
yeah.
looks fabricated. The animal looks like it's surprised or whatever.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just not something I like as an aesthetic. So for
Yeah, yeah.
me,
It's
I
true.
want to be attached to the image and not just blindly shooting it. And I don't use pre-capture. I don't use any of the
Mhm,
modern well, I use modern tools, obviously, but I don't use the gimmicky
mhm,
things that
mhm.
a lot of people are using for birds in flight and whatnot. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't do a lot of birds. So I guess, like, when I'm thinking about elk, like, I am definitely shooting that burst as
yeah,
they're running or as they're coming by so I can get that leg
sure.
position.
Yeah, 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 of course. Yeah,
Yeah, but
oh,
I've also
totally.
just, like, made sure that I'm in the spot where I wanna be, the background's what I want it to be, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping for that gesture, hoping for that movement, you
But
know?
that's because you're putting the thought into it and not just
Okay.
spraying
Yeah.
wildly into the sky, right? Which
Yeah.
I think it's probably more a bird photographer thing because or anything that's got a lot of rapid action in it seems to
Mhm,
be
mhm.
oh, look, there's a squirrel, bang, bang, bang. Oh, there's a budgie, people would
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
bird it is, are just, spinning around in circles and blasting and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Hope is not a process, right? So,
Yeah.
um, you need to have some kind of vision.
Yeah, I do see though that people are over editing and it is almost like back to
Yeah.
social media that they're hoping that that's going to garner some
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like and everything. And it's so over edited. And you're like, that image would be so pretty if you would just take it back,
Yeah.
take it
Or
back
it
some.
looks so pristine that there's just no way that was nature,
That's true. And you're
right?
like, is that
So,
AI or is
yeah. 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 Go ahead and edit the backgrounds out until it's completely flat
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
fuzzy and
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never I
Yeah.
think I sometimes will edit some, like, spots out, but I've never been one, like, to edit the branches out and all that stuff,
No.
so,
Right, right.
yeah, just get in the
Yep,
right move your feet. Um,
exactly.
so how did you get in wildlife photography? You're with your dad shooting, you're reading
Yep.
Ansel Adams.
Yeah, 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 reading Enchiladas
So
and drive along.
how did wildlife photography, like, spark something in you and bird photography?
Well, where I lived in Ontario was
Mhm.
north. There's all the myriad of predator and prey and birds, to all,
Mm.
17 different types of owls in Canada.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
so um, there's no lack of subject matter, right? And where I
Yeah.
lived was snowy owls, right? So
Oh,
for
nice.
27 years, basically, I focused on snowy owls. And yeah, it was just they were just there. I saw this big beautiful bird, and oh,
Yeah.
there's one, and there's one, there's one, there's one. They're all over the place, and
That's so
so,
fun.
so I started to shoot them, and I learned about them. I learned their migration habits and tracked them, and worked with Project Snowstorm and all those folks in the Owl Research Institute, and
Mhm.
um, just went from there. And I started to enjoy that because I got to apply science to what I was doing as a hobby as well, and then trying to make nice images. And then it got into the whole, dealing with baiters
Yeah.
um, and trying to keep your name clean, because if back then, if you got a nice image of a snowy owl, there's no way you got that without bait. You couldn't, it couldn't possibly be that they came to your property every year and you
Mm.
just had time and would go out and sit with them. No, that couldn't be
Yeah, yeah.
possible. So
Interesting. It
yeah,
is so different, and you talk about this in some of your blog that just, like, it is so different to me when I see some UK photographers, and I don't know how it is in Canada, but like the baiting and the hides and the setups, I'm not
Yeah.
used to. I guess there are people that set up birds in the United States,
Yeah, but
but
not to the level they do
not to the
in
level.
Europe.
Yeah. Like
No,
someone told me
no.
to be very careful, like when I see kingfisher photos,
Yeah.
that those are
Yeah.
mostly baited, like diving into the water and things
Well,
like.
in the UK, absolutely.
Interesting.
There's one guy in Scotland that he's got a very famous photo of it just piercing the water, and he
Yes.
tells this cock and bull story of how it took him 400,000 images. Well, it maybe did, but uh, diving into a fish tank for a fish, you're
Okay.
pretty much going to get that shot eventually, right? Just by
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
it pre-focused and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
But that's fairly common.
Okay.
Um, uh, Baiting of owls with live bait in Canada and all of North America is still fairly common, but it's gotten, I have to commend a lot of the Facebook groups. I'm not on Facebook, but they block snowy owl photos in the winter from being
Yes.
posted. And,
Mhm.
there's a cycle that they've gone into where you can't even post these things
Yeah.
because it's not rewarding the people with the dopamine hit that they get from a like.
Right.
So
Right. Oh my
I've always
gosh.
thought,
Is that
I don't
horrible?
do, yeah. So I don't do snowy owl workshops, which I could do very easily,
Yes.
because I can't guarantee any results without baiting, right? And I'm
Right.
not going to do
Right.
that. So,
Yeah.
um, you'll see them. They won't maybe do something. They maybe won't. They hunt in the evening. They'll go hunt ducks in the night.
Hmm.
They're if you ever see them coming in on a mouse or on Instagram, you'll see them flying in on the snow with talons out. Well, that's baited, right? There's just
Wow.
no two ways
Okay.
about
So
it.
that's a good thing to tips for people to watch for that and not
Yeah,
give it
yeah,
like, not give it, don't do a workshop with someone. We have
right.
encouraged people over this podcast, like to make sure you're checking out the workshops or is there baiting and
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, because the last thing you want to do is, think that you're doing something that's okay because they didn't mention it in their website, and then
Right.
show up and this guy brings out a
Wow.
bucket of mice,
Oh gosh,
right?
it'd be
And
horrible.
yeah, so you know, if they say they're going to do it and you make that choice, then live with it. Um, you know, but if they don't disclose it, then and you get there, then it's not going to be a nice situation for anybody. It sure
Yeah, yeah,
wouldn't be if I was there.
yeah.
Um, so, um, yeah, it's so I am encouraged that I've seen a lot less um, hunting images with snowy owls in the
Yeah,
past
yeah,
few years, which is quite good. A lot more on post and stuff. So
yeah,
people putting in the time and the effort and happening upon them while they're sitting on a post or a mound or
yeah.
something,
Just
that's
enjoy
great.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It takes a lot of time to get a snowy hunting
yeah.
naturally. So I mean,
Anytime I've only seen a great gray
yeah.
twice, and anytime I've posted it, that's one of the only times I get questions. Where is that?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. And people always love great grays,
don't
right?
give
Yeah.
locations, and I feel like
Nah.
people are going after those so much now too. It's like everybody needs to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, just say Zach Bog and they'll all leave you alone. Right. But yeah. Yeah, they're lovely birds.
They are.
They have no idea what people are, so they'll just land on your head or on
Yeah,
your
I mean, everyone
vans.
was in Minnesota this year, and I was tempted to go, and then I heard about the crowds and everything, and I'm like, that's okay. I think I'm good. I think
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good. But so when you were starting out and you started wildlife photography, did you have photographers or books or artists that inspired you, like as you're
Um,
learning?
I always liked the landscape guys. Like Ansel Adams is an absolute
Hmm.
master.
Hmm.
Um, I got to work a little bit with Art Wolf in the early
Hmm.
2000s because he was doing all the Explorer of Light stuff with Canon when I was
Hmm.
coming up at Canon, and got to do a little bit with him. He's fantastic photographer
Yes.
because he started as a painter.
Hmm.
Um, he has a really unique vision of patterns, and he's doing this YouTube series over the past couple of years. Phenomenal. I mean,
Oh,
if you go and just
interesting.
watch some of his stuff on there,
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
he sees patterns and textures and colors, it is astonishing. You'll just
Yeah.
be blown away because you'll see this clump of reeds and he'll get at a different angle and wait for the light to shift. And he'll take this shot that just blows your mind because it just looks like something you wouldn't have, very ethereal color base.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is stunning.
Yeah, I'm so weak in that area. I'm always like, I want to see the way other people see. I'm not sure I
Yeah.
can't do. I'm like, so it's something you have to like train that muscle, you know?
Well, well, I think you're born with
I
something
do
too.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's hard to teach eye because I mean, there's people that are
Yes.
technically competent with cameras,
Yes.
but they just shoehorn these ideas into the situation. Like I have light, and here's subject. Subject is doing nothing of any merit, but I'm gonna take that photo because there's light,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And there's a few people I've worked with that um, that's their favorite thing. Good, but I mean, it doesn't make the most compelling image. And,
Well, let's talk about that because you do say
sure.
like in your blog, like you do talk about this. How do we not make a boring image? How do we put ourselves in that image? What are the
Well,
elements?
that's the thing. And it's very hard to teach people because having you express you in an image, um, it's hard to find your voice and it takes time to develop your voice.
Hmm.
I think probably it's taken me almost 40 years probably to really develop my style, my voice,
I don't have
my
enough
vision.
time for that,
Well,
Vince.
yeah, you do. Yeah. We're about the same age. You got plenty of time.
I know, but I
Uh,
just started so much later.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I'm working on it.
yeah. But that's the thing. You're trying, right? And
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna figure it out, and you're
yeah,
gonna get to that point where what you see in your head comes out into the image, and people will see the emotion into it.
yeah.
Um, so you look for the atmospheric conditions, you look for the light, you look for the subject, the background. It all has to come into play because you can't just make bird on stick or elk face with antlers and expect people to say, "Okay, I've not seen this image before."
Yeah.
You want to try to make an image that's nobody's seen before, which
Yes.
is really hard, obviously now because cameras are a commodity.
Yeah.
Everybody's a photographer, whether they have an iPhone or a 600, and um, it's very challenging to get your expression out there.
Hmm.
But that said, if you work on those elements and try to put them all together, you will say something, right? Um, you'll take several images and hopefully one of those will stick, right? You only need one. If I
Right.
come
Right.
back from a shoot where I've got one image, then great. I'm
Yeah.
happy with that. If I don't
Yeah.
get anything, well, that's just wildlife. So I don't ever get upset really when we're out shooting because I know that either A, I'll get another opportunity to do it again, likely, based up dependent on the species.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then two, sorry for me if I didn't make it work, right? That's the way I always feel. I blame myself if I don't get it right. So,
Yeah. But you're also out in nature and you're getting to be outside and enjoying that, you know?
exactly, which is
Yeah.
always better than doing just about anything else.
Yeah. And I think there are some people who don't, who are just out there to find beauty and they're not necessarily
Yeah,
wanting to make that perfect shot.
yeah,
But like for me, I want to make a photograph. I want to make an
yeah,
image that speaks to someone. And I think you said we don't just want images, we want images that matter. And
yeah,
yeah, like you said, like sometimes you can think of an image 40 years ago that still sticks in your head. Like
yeah,
that's pretty amazing if you could touch someone like that, you know?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
art.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I'm looking at the photos behind you, and I can tell that you put effort into getting that intimate contact with the rams, and the buffalo just had its face in the snow. I see the
Yeah.
story, right?
Yeah. Well,
That's
that's
the
good.
thing. I I want to me the photograph is one thing, but the story is the bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
And if there's no story and it's just animal, right? And there's
Right.
nothing else there, um, it doesn't say anything to anybody. So if it says something to you that others don't get, well, okay, maybe that's on us to worry about. And if it makes you happy, that's great. But if you're just shooting it because it was there,
Yeah.
and if your immediate thought is I'm going to take that photo and get it on Instagram, that's your process of this is
I
why
mean,
I
that
do
was totally
photography.
me in 2019, 2018,
Right.
because you're just starting and you're like, oh my gosh, I saw a bison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Right.
like so exciting. And now my kids will be like, even just a few years ago, they're like, did mom just pass the moose? And my husband's like,
Yeah,
yeah, we're driving on, kids. And I'm
right.
like, nah, 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 keep going, keep going. We're not
I've
stopping.
seen this movie before. I don't
Yeah,
need to
yeah. It's
recreate it.
like,
Yeah,
that's not a
yeah,
shot. That's not a shot. And I would
yeah,
always watch in the bear jams and stuff, some of the big name photographers, big name,
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Big and like who I considered good, just pass on through. And I'm like, but there's a bear. Why wouldn't they stop? But it took me years to understand this isn't a photo.
yeah.
This isn't a photo. It's not
Like if we're in
art.
Kenya and there's a lion kill, we may go look at it. We may just
Mhm.
continue on to find something else that's not got anybody at it, like
Right.
a group of giraffe crossing a plain, or some birds, or we'll go sit with a leopard or something like that instead, and shoot what's
Yes.
around it. It doesn't have to be the whiz bang shot that everybody's at that you're going to go
Yeah.
for. It's making um, something interesting out of making the story come out of whatever the image is.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
and a lot of the time, if there's a group of people around in a big quantity, it's kind of hard to get your thoughts clear. I
Oh,
find, at least.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
passed through so many moose jams in the last 2 weeks. I just couldn't take it. First, I can't take that everyone's crowding around the moose.
yeah,
Like, because I love
yeah,
them so much that I'm like, I just feel bad for them. And then I'm like, what shot am I going to get? Was someone standing here with their iPhone? And I just had to keep it going through. I just couldn't do it. But
yeah.
thankfully
No,
had
good for
some
you.
quieter moments. But well, speaking of images, let's look at your images. Hopefully this screen share works. Sometimes it doesn't, but let's do Africa first, or Kenya.
Sure.
You can tell me like where they are. And but this is
Huh.
beautiful. I had not seen this of yours at first, but you sent this to me this week. And it's beautiful. I
Yeah,
love that. I love your angle.
I don't love the leg position on it, but the
You're going to critique
uh
your own work now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is an
um
elephant. And where are you? Is this
this
Kenya?
is yeah this is in Alare, in the Masai Mara.
Okay.
um Yeah, we go to conservancies.
Mm-hmm.
It's way less. It's still the Masai Mara. Let's get
Mm-hmm.
that clear. However, it's not the national park.
Right. That's
The
what I'm
national
hearing more
park,
and more.
yeah, the national
Yeah.
park is kind of Wild Westy. They don't have the amount of rangers there that it would need to patrol it.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to regulate it a lot more, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
going to take some time.
Yeah.
The conservancies, however, are owned by the people. The camps that are on it are partners with the landowners, and it's quite strict. There's regulations. There's only 5 vehicles at a sighting at any one time.
Mm-hmm.
You can stay a while. You have to leave to let other people come in. So it doesn't put so much pressure on the animals. It feeds back into the local communities, and it just gives everybody a better experience. And really, you can go on trips all around the world, but it's the experience you're buying, right? So if you're going to
Yes.
invest, don't just try to save £1,000 or $1,000. Think about the knock-on impacts to that. Think about the
Yes.
overall experience, because if you spend a little bit more usually,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you go to the proper conservancies with the right people, you will hopefully get a better experience. You will expect a better experience than you will with the 800 vehicles chasing
Yes. Yes.
a
And the
leopard
videos coming
crossing.
out of places lately are just
Yeah,
horrible, horrible.
yeah, yeah. It's
But
ridiculous.
so tell us a little bit about why you put this in black and white, and then you can tell everybody why you don't like the leg position.
Oh, yeah. Um, okay, so the legs aren't staggered in the correct place. Uh,
That's gonna bug you.
yeah, it's better in the shadow, so that's the reason why
Yeah,
I,
the
I
shadow's cool.
like.
It's all cool.
Yeah, but it was the storm that popped up in the
Yes,
back. That
it's
was that
very
was
cool.
that's the story to it, right? I mean, you've got this
Mm-hmm.
lovely big elephant that we were very close to, because in the Mara and in the conservancies, they are quite um, used to people, for
Mm-hmm.
one,
Mm-hmm.
and they trust that you're not going to harm them. So they have
Mm-hmm.
no issue with coming up and feeding right in front of you. You see
Oh
your
my
trunk
goodness.
is just there picking up some
Yes.
grass.
Yes.
Next frame, it was in the mouth, and just
Mm-hmm.
fine. And we were maybe, I don't know, 10, 8, 6, ten
Oh, I
feet
love it. I
away.
love it.
Um,
Elephants. I want to photograph elephants the most, I think.
yeah, they're incredible animals. You just
Mm-hmm.
see the wisdom in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're beautiful creatures, and the temperament on the ones in the Mara are usually
Mm-hmm.
quite lovely. I mean, you just give them the space that they require. We were there. It walked up to us, So, it was perfectly a symbiotic relationship at the moment.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then, the storm in the background was just like,
It's
okay,
gorgeous. Yeah.
I'm
Are
going to
you in
stick
a
with.
vehicle or outside
Oh
of?
yeah, no, we're
Someone
definitely in a
wants to know.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That was a
yeah.
question in the chat. Yeah. And people say they love the black and white and
Oh,
how it
thank you.
highlights the mud on the tusks. That's really cool. Let me
Yeah,
show it.
yeah.
We have
Sometimes
another.
black and white works. Not on
Yeah.
polar bears, right, Trish?
Uh-oh. Trish is going to comment, I'm sure.
Oh, I should have
Here's
given her a high
another
res version of
elephant.
this.
This is beautiful. So we have a silhouette of an elephant if you're just listening, and a sunburst coming right between the legs. So it's beautiful on the horizon. Is this?
This is in Navoisho Conservancy
Mm-hmm.
in 2023-ish. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we got up early. We went looking for this massive pride of lions. Didn't well, we saw the pride of lions. They walked off into the bush more. So um, Charlotte spotted the Ellies in
Mm-hmm.
another valley. Um, Johnson took us over to this valley, got us in the right position, and we just waited for this sunburst effect to kick through the legs, which I like the position on these better. Uh, and just was able to make this very low to the ground.
Yes.
Still in the vehicle, but had the handle on the small rig frame on it, and hung it at the side of the window, and
Mm-hmm.
and took the shot, and
Yeah.
it just worked.
The clouds work too. The clouds are
Yeah,
gorgeous. Yeah.
that's the thing with Africa is the sky is it's hard to capture the magnitude of what that place is,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have
because it's
never
just
been, so
it it Montana is a lovely place. I love it. But um, Kenya is you have to go. I
I
mean,
know. I have
you just
more
have to
than
go.
I have several people telling me this, yes, that I have to go. I have to go. I'm like, well, I'm going
Yeah,
to save some money a little. And
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
told me it's more affordable than I think.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But it's if it's going to be one of those once in a lifetime thing, make
yeah.
sure you do it right. Yeah,
That's
don't.
right. That's right. That's right. And is this in the Mara too, our
This is
conservancy?
in the Mara as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
This is between Naboisho and Alare.
Mm-hmm.
We were just crossing over the border between the two conservancies, going to the next camp. I should
Mm-hmm.
have sent you a higher res. I'm
No,
sorry,
it's
listener.
fine. It's fine. Everyone,
Um,
everyone knows that. I
okay.
can, let me see too.
Um,
There we go. Looks
but
like,
anyhow, so this there we go. This lion was crossing. There was a herd of zebra ahead of it. Um, all the zebra were very upset that this lion was coming along,
I'm sure. Yeah.
and she was walking through the higher grass because this was March, and her breath was showing, and
Yes.
a
I love
Jackson's
that.
widowbird popped up out of the brush there as
Mm-hmm.
she was wandering along.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have got the tail better on that bird, but anyhow, um, the breadth is important here. But it showed she's trying to walk her way across, looking for her pride, and if one of the zebras was unfortunate, she might have tried. She did not. She just kept walking. But
Yeah. Now, was that your father's voice or your own voice?
I don't know where the one
You
begins,
don't
the
know.
other one ends at this point. But yeah,
We'll do it. We'll do it like a.
mine had less swearing, funny enough, in my own head. But yeah,
It's funny. Okay, I don't. Oh, I want to show this one. I love this one. I
oh,
love
that
this
one,
one.
yeah,
This is the little
yeah, that
cheetah.
was quite a
Yeah,
good one.
that's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
that
The
was a good
colors.
moment.
That is. You're not gonna like the resolution on that, so I'm gonna lower it a little bit.
That's
There
all
we
right. There we go.
go.
Yeah, that was in Botswana last summer. Yeah,
Laura Dyer wanted to know who helped you find that.
a very needy person needed, yeah, help. Yeah, Laura,
She has
Jesus.
beautiful work too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
It's funny the questions that come across.
yeah,
Ask
I'm
ahead of
sure.
time.
Uh-huh.
People like to
Yeah,
just razz other people.
yeah,
So
she
tell us
does.
about this little beautiful little one.
Yeah. Careful. Um, so there was a pair of siblings and a mother were just racing around in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite a smoky day.
Mm.
Um, really, really nice light. It doesn't really reflect it on this shot, but these cubs were just running around and climbing the tree all the time, which cheetah cubs will always do.
Mhm.
And this one just sat up in this tree for a split second, and I managed to grab that really quickly and um,
It's so
got that
sweet.
look.
And
Yeah,
the framing is really pretty.
yeah, yeah, it just spoke to me. I like the texture in the tree and the pattern of the cracks in the bark that's
Hmm.
uh, that's been dried and
Yeah.
cracked.
Well, it is
So
interesting the contrast between the lines and the spots. So that's kind of
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I thought it was a cool frame.
I love it. The look is so sweet. So I like cheetahs too. Cheetahs and
Yeah.
elephants. I gotta get someone is gonna have to get me
Well,
those.
we know a place.
I know, I know. Okay, let's move to birds. We're just kind of going through these quickly, but I want people to see them. We'll go to birds next. So what kind of
Yeah.
owl is this?
This is a Varrock's eagle owl.
Okay, see, I don't know that owl. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And there's a reason why
Okay.
they don't do this.
Oh.
So yeah, this is an image from this year, just June, and
Hmm. Hmm.
this is a young, uh, just days fledged
Oh,
bird.
wow.
Um, the thing is, I've done the research. There are no wild Varrock's eagle owl flying images anywhere in the world that I've been able to find, and we were able to get 4 days of working with them in the morning.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, so we were we were near the border of Mara North Conservancy, and James, our guide, could have sworn he spotted something in a tree. Sure enough, it was. Um, we saw an adult there, sat there with it for a while because it was unusually awake in the day.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was napping, but it was unusually awake. So we just thought, oh, maybe something. We could, and then we heard the call over to the right,
Hmm.
um, of a young owlet, and sure enough, there that one was. It turned out there was two of them. We didn't see the second one until the next day, but then they started to fly, and the
Oh,
parents flew, and it was
wow.
like, so this. I think out of any images I've ever made, this is the most nervous I ever was.
Hmm. Oh, that's
Um,
interesting.
because I knew there was not a chance I was going to see this again.
Wow. Yeah. So you
Um,
had to get it.
had to get it. It
Yeah.
just could not be screwed up.
Yeah.
Charlotte got better, but hey, um,
Not that you're competitive or anything.
no, 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 no. Um, if she ever publishes it, which I hope she does, or enters it into something, which I really
Yeah.
hope she does,
Yeah.
it's special.
Oh, that's
You just
neat.
won't see it again.
Wow.
But anyhow,
Well,
so these guys were this. We drove. This is the second day of seeing them. We drove into the area, saw it sitting there like that, just waiting around for its parent to feed it.
mhm,
It was
mhm.
calling and trying to get its attention. And another vehicle drove past. Guy lifted up his phone, took a click, and drove away. We couldn't give away this sighting to anybody at camp that day or any other day. Nobody was interested in this, even
Right.
though telling them how incredibly rare this is,
Yeah. It's so
nobody
interesting.
cared.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, fine, we will take it. And
Yeah, absolutely.
us being owl lovers, and this was like the pot of gold, right? So,
That is so
um,
cool.
and it's a huge bird. I mean, it is a huge bird.
I know when
Even
you
at
said that it
that,
was a fledgling, I'm like, what?
yeah, even at that age, it is a massive creature. And they're used to eating monkeys and small impala and
Oh
stuff like
my
that, and alone
gosh. Okay,
any
say the name of that
sub-mares.
owl again so that everyone can look that up. Say that again.
To me, it's supposed to be Varro because of the French, but it's
Yes.
it's Varrock's.
Okay, yeah.
I'll send you how to spell it
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
and put it in the
That's
chat.
super cool.
Um, but they have pink eyelids, and you can't really see it in this image. But yeah, they're a
As you were
grayish
editing,
bird
I
with
bet you
pink.
were inspecting every part of that
Oh
bird.
yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely, they definitely have pink eyelids.
That's
They're
very
a really
cool.
weird looking creature, but yeah, just to see them fly at their wingspan, everything about them is incredible. And um, yeah, it was just a really special moment.
Well, it's
And
nice that you had
again,
him to yourself too.
yeah, oh
It's really
yeah, I mean,
nice. That's
yeah,
always
this just
good. Always good.
Absolutely incredible. So
Okay.
we know we have unique images there.
Yes, absolutely. And
Oh, the
enough
pied
time to think
wagtail.
about them.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another bird image, bird in flight.
Yeah.
Tell
So
us about this image.
this is a pied wagtail. It's a fairly common bird here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh my
one of the
gosh, it's
things,
catching the insect. I see that. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm kind of working on this project in my head because I used to get beat up a lot by people saying, "Oh, you're a snob and you only photograph owls and stuff like that," which, oh, okay. Um, I'm not going to deny it. And but lately I've started to photograph smaller birds, but I'm trying to do them in a way that shows the predator nature of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people just take photos of them sitting on a stick or a perch or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
And
And yeah,
I'm trying to go for things like this where it shows them living their life
right. And not a setup.
and not, yeah, definitely not a setup of a bug on the pond. As you can see, this scummy pond because the pond dried up this summer. Um, that background to it is actually where the water would normally be, but at
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
point it was just foliage and mud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the bugs thriving in the mud, wagtails coming down, feeding their faces off. But it's just a fun species to try to shoot. They're really quite small,
Yeah.
so having the timing down is really hard. I mean, it took I don't know how many hours to get images like that. So,
Yeah, I think I
um,
don't have patience. Like here in Indiana, it's a lot of birds. We have a great migration that comes through, and I just, I just, don't have patience. I
yeah.
just get mad.
Well, birds are a good time. They're just a lot of work.
They're a lot of work. Yeah.
I mean,
So,
all wildlife photography is a lot of work, but I mean, I
yeah.
think birds for sheer challenge is probably right up there.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's talk about this award-winning image of yours. Did you originally name it Food Fight, or did they help you name that? Or I've had people say they had other names and then they were changed, but I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this one, I called it Chaos,
Mm-hmm.
the food fight, and they
Mm-hmm.
took the chaos off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they did. Yeah, it was funny because it said it was shot in Canada, but it was not. It was actually in the UK,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and my whole the week I had the takeover of the Wildlife Photographer of the Year
Yes,
Instagram,
yes.
the stuff they put was crazy because I gave some outline to where it was and they just went off and did their own thing.
Okay.
But they've gone back and changed. I asked them to go back and change it, so they've gone back and changed some of them. Some of them they
Yes,
still have it,
yes,
so I have to go back and sort that out.
yes.
But yeah, so this image, again, I don't know if I'll ever be able to
It's
see that
so
again,
cool. It's so cool. The
but
wing position, the mouths, the fighting, the
the
mouse or
vole,
whatever that is it a
yeah,
mouse, a vole
vole,
swinging
yeah,
like that? It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool. Sorry, everyone. I'm using my mouse to like
Yeah, yeah.
my
So
cursor, but
the bird that's on the direct right of the smiley looking one, that's the
yes.
dad.
Oh,
Uh, and
interesting.
it just brought that vole into the trio there,
Yes,
and
yes.
um, that one grabbed it, and they were all like the one that's coming in at the top
Hmm.
didn't even see it until it was there,
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
was sitting on the rafter inside, and it just
yeah.
came in for the grab.
And how many hours do you think you put in for this image?
Oh, we were there all the time for months
Yeah,
because we
months. That's what I
knew
thought.
we knew when it was a reliable spot. It was quiet usually. Um, Two, we knew they had outlets. We could shoot at a distance that was legal because in
Hmm.
the UK they're a Schedule A bird. You have to be within a very far distance from them to be able to actually take a photograph
Yeah,
while they have young.
yeah,
So
that's
you
good.
so and when you go through the winning process to this, you have to be able to produce all that information, show the distance from where you were. They
Oh,
wanted to
wow.
know GPS coordinates and I mean, the amount of due diligence that the WPY does on an image now
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
tremendous, right? They put a huge amount of work into making sure the images that they're putting out for people um, are as real as possible.
And ethical. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah, we were there for months. basically
Amazing.
all the time.
And you have
Yeah.
variations. And so as you're looking for what you want to enter,
Yeah.
you're picking the one that tells the story the best.
Right. Yeah. What's got the best wing positions, what's got the most relatable interactions,
Mm-hmm.
um, where the color is the best, et cetera. Right. So I mean,
Oh, so
you
interesting.
can't shoot that at 2.8 and hope for the best, right?
Right.
You got to know what your aperture is, because you need everything that you can to make sure that that's going to be in focus, because if you get off the plane of the focal plane, it's going to be a mess, and
Yeah.
the depth of field being wrong, it's going to be a mess. So if you want that kind of image, you just cannot beat a
So
chance
what
of
was your aperture? Do you remember?
that. I think was F12 or
12.
no, F11. Sorry, no, F12. What am I
11.
thinking?
Okay, that's so
Um,
interesting. I shoot
yeah,
so wide open all the time that I have to remind myself,
yeah, I
come
never do.
on, come on.
I only shoot wide open if it's dark, and I
Yeah,
need that.
yeah.
I need
I
that
know.
light.
I've
Other
gotten
than
stuck
that,
in it.
yeah, I mean, people buy a 400 2.8 and say, well, it's 2.8. I'm going to just leave it there. Then you
I
got a,
know.
a $20,000 point and shoot. So you gotta think, you've got to, and I mean, it's never going to be sharpest at 2.8. It just
Right, right,
isn't.
right. I just love
Mo
that bokeh and softness. I get addicted
Yeah,
to it, you know?
yeah. No, I
I've
know.
worked on it. I'm working on it. I am working on it. And in Alaska, I was definitely working on it because
Oh,
the bears
good.
are right there, you know.
Yeah,
So you want to make
right.
sure that face
Y-
is sharp and you're getting all the fur and everything. And it would be a nice reminder for my leader to say, everyone is like F8.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
oh yeah.
I
And
think
what
people
lens
get
did
annoyed
you
with me
use?
because
Go ahead.
they always just assume that, oh, you've got a 600 f4, you're at f4. I am never at f4.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Never. If I I'll start at f8,
Yeah, yeah,
and then um stop down. But
yeah, yeah.
it's yeah, there's no joy in 2.8 unless you're going for bokeh balls, right? So um yeah.
This is interesting to me because it does seem like some of these younger photographers that are coming up are only shooting at 2.8 or f4. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
they
I
just,
totally know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a totally different look. I'm not one of those younger photographers, but I do, it's just like I think in low light I'm definitely in 2.8 at 4, but yeah, I've been working on it. I've been working on it.
Well, like people always ask me what my settings were, and
Yeah,
it's inconsequential because it was
right.
only important for that image at that moment. It
That's
doesn't
right.
matter to any other time. Like,
Yeah,
yes, you get some baseline of like, okay, if it's a really fast bird, I'm at 1/3200th of a second and
right.
something, right? So shutter speed, I could see somebody asking for, but the
Yeah,
aperture and the ISO is irrelevant
yeah,
unless it's that situation.
yeah.
But you know, today, Wildlife Photographer of the Year is going to be announced. WPY
Yes,
61 is today.
yes,
It should be starting in an hour.
yes.
And go look at those images when they get published tomorrow. And I doubt you'll see too many that are shot wide open.
That's so
So,
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just it gets to be a bit of a lazy situation. If again, distance and all that
right.
tends to negate things at times, but still, if you want to go for your sharpest, like the 300-2.8, one of the sharpest lenses ever made, its sweet spot was 5.6. Um,
Interesting. Yeah. I
the
did think that the
the
other day. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
not really thinking about the sweet spot.
yeah,
What is the
yeah,
sweet spot?
yeah,
There are times in photography where you've learned something and then you move on and then you kind of need to step back and not relearn it, but just remind yourself, oh yeah, and add it
yeah,
all together. Sometimes that you forget to add it all together.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not right about everything. It's the way I shoot, and
yeah,
it's personal to me. But
right.
um, I think for the aesthetic, always shooting wide open gets you a very samey image. And unless you it's better to know it's yours than going through a stream of things and thinking, did I actually shoot that or somebody else shoot that? I don't know.
Oh,
And I
interesting.
see
Yeah.
that with a lot of shots on Instagram. You'll see that, definitely know that somebody shot it wide open, and the blur is there, and it's just boring. And you go to the next image, it'll be the same thing, just slightly different. And the
I
next,
don't want you to look at my images now. Now I'm
no, no,
scared.
no, no, no.
I'm
I'm
scared.
not that judgy.
Well, I really love that image. And you do have a new blog post up today about what it was like to go to London and go to the ceremony. And that was really interesting to me too, because of course, like we all know that's like the pinnacle, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
So I've never entered anything. I don't have any, I don't really think I don't know if I ever will, but oh, Laura Dyer said,
a lot of people say that.
funny. Yeah. But
A lot of people say
not that I
that,
don't
but
want to. I want to
no,
someday.
no.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you'll get to the point where you take that image and you'll say, I know in the moment that this is something that's special.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'll try.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people asked some questions, so I was going to ask you some. One is from Lydia, and she
Sure.
says, "How's
Oh God.
Gunther?"
Oh, Gunther. Yes, yes. Gunther's fine.
Is this an owl? What is this?
No, it was a character I used to do years and years and years ago that he was a bit challenged and had some fun at the odd Starbucks or two. But because you'd walk in and I'd order a coffee and I'd say my name was Gunther.
Yes,
And I would
yes.
get every different variation of that spelled on the cup. And it was
Lydia loves to ask funny questions on here.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a good egg. She's a good egg.
And another is from Tom, and he says, if you could shoot one species for life, what would it be?
Tom who?
Tom.
I know who it is. I know who it is. Yeah, I know. Probably barn owls now. I've grown very, very fond of them. And if it wasn't for Tom and Charlotte, I would have never got that image.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So was he with you or shooting the same time or?
He actually put us onto that spot.
Oh, so that's nice.
Yeah, it was really, really good. He shoots with us quite a bit and
that's cool.
Really talented photographer.
That's cool. Well, thanks for the question, Tom. And then I think you have someone that just want to have a comment. So you'll probably know who this is. Not a question, but thank you for being such a great mentor to me for years and not even knowing it. Your salty sense of humor and honesty actually makes Instagram a fun place to escape. Thanks, Vince. Do you know who that is?
I'm going to say Trish Hennessy.
It's Trish Hennessy. Okay. I know she was asking me a couple months ago, you have to have Vince on. I'm like, I'm already working on it. We're working on it. It's coming. It's coming. But that was really nice of her. And then
yeah, she mentioned that she was going to Svalbard. And then I just said, just try to get the whites right, because polar bears in black and white, because you'd screwed up the whites, is so boring. Because there's so many photos of Svalbard polar bears that you just can't, again, you can't tell the difference between yours or somebody else's.
Yeah.
There are some really talented black and white photographers that do polar bears, but it's pretty slim pickings otherwise.
Yeah, I have not been there either. I don't know that I'll be going. Tom says salty sense of humor nails it.
You'll be hearing that tomorrow morning, fella.
We're going to move on to the speed round. Another speed round, Vince.
All right.
This is the one that gets a little bit longer answers.
Okay.
So you don't have to just say one or two words. So if you have something, what's in your camera bag that you can't do without? Is there something?
My Whistling Wings speed shooter harness.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's how do I describe it? It's almost like a flag carry. You've seen the guys that carry the flags for the military. It's kind of like that. So a monopod slides into this holder and it attaches to your lens. So I can carry a 600 all day long. And I am the tripod at that point. I don't like a tripod. It's always in the way. People,
I agree.
It's a pain in the butt. I agree. So this thing, I can just put it on my monopod, attach it to my lens, stick it in the holder, and I'm good all day. Yeah. And I can hold it and position myself. I can sit down, stand up, kneel, which I don't like to do, because I'm big and it's hard on my old knees. But I can get up and down really easily, and I can constantly manipulate the lens. So it's awesome. I've had it about 3 or 4 years, and it's awesome.
Yeah, Jackie Manichuk said the same thing, but she uses like a fishing harness. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that too. There's a couple of guys that have decided to go that route around here,
Yeah.
and it works okay for them. But this is very secure. That's the way I like it. It's really,
Yeah,
really
that's
secure.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
she uses
whistling wing
it for
speed.
sports too. Yeah. Say the name of that again. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
The whistling wing speed shooter.
Okay.
Ron Bielefeld, he's a really good guy in Florida that makes
Okay.
them. And yeah, if you're looking for an alternative to a tripod, um, that's easy to just get in around and maneuver, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. My monopod is just much easier for me
Yep,
to move in and
yep.
around things, especially like if you're in Wyoming in the sagebrush and stuff. You don't have the three legs getting tangled and it's just
Yeah,
much
it's a pain in the
easier.
butt.
And it pulls
Yeah,
my hair out.
yeah, yeah. Like this is really stable, and it gives you almost the same level of support that a tripod does without
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
mobility issues are gone.
Yeah. That's nice. And what's something in your camera bag that you bought but you never use?
I didn't buy it, but I have one, and it's the Atomos Ninja 5 Plus. It's the screen thing for video.
Oh, yes. I've had someone else say this.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I mean, it's a cool thing. And I thought, oh, wow, I'm going to get into video with I have this. And then it just sits in the bag
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
or home because I tend not to carry it around too much
Right.
because
Right.
I don't like to carry extra stuff
Right.
if I don't need to.
I know. It gets heavy too. Yeah. So do you have a favorite snack while driving around looking for things or waiting for things or editing? What's the
Uh,
favorite snack of a
I'm not,
Canadian or in
I
the
am a
UK?
Canadian. Poutine. No, I'm not a big snacker really,
Yeah.
but hmm, what would it be?
Or a drink, coffee,
Oh,
tea.
coffee for sure. God,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
coffee. Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
buckets of coffees, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things you said
Black
about
as my
making good
heart.
images, that you need caffeine too and
Oh yeah,
stubbornness.
very much so. Very much so.
That's very true. I need tea. So, is there a moment in the wild that made you laugh?
Oh God, there's so many.
A million.
There's a lot of toilet humor. Um,
But did an animal make you laugh?
uh, oh geez. I shot a snowy owl once that um I should have sent you that one. That smiled and it would
Oh,
make this silly face all the time. And entered it in the comedy awards a few years ago, and it
yeah,
did
yeah.
really well in that, which was
Oh, good.
surprising. But it
Yeah,
was an
yeah.
old image, but I just thought, okay, randomly toss it in there, and it did okay.
That's
Um,
cool.
but it looks like she was smiling, and it was just this funny head tilt. And she did it quite often when she fed, and yeah, it always made me laugh because it always looked like she was smiling at me.
Yeah, yeah. It's so interesting how animals have personality. Even the owls have different personalities. It's so
Oh yeah,
interesting. Yeah, it's so
definitely. Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Usually very monotone, but I mean they're still all
yeah,
quite different.
yeah. This is not in the speed round, but I just think it's would be interesting for people to know like tips if you're going to enter a contest. Do you have tips off your head? You said some of them earlier.
Yeah, like I said, you got to shoot as clean as possible. Put
Hmm.
as much thought into the image as you can,
Hmm.
and put the time in. Like if you do watch the WPY, because it's going to be on right after this, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
Tonight you'll hear people speak. I mean, yes, there are a lot of Nat Geo and brand supported folks that have had crews go with them, but the defining factor is it's the time that's put in, right? They put
Hmm.
huge amounts of time to get that image.
Hmm.
Um, so that's the one thing you gotta, if you're gonna do this at a top level, you have to commit the time. There's no two ways about it. Shortcuts don't work.
Yeah,
Shortcuts don't win awards.
yeah.
Um, be true to yourself and shoot what you love, because if you shoot what you love, hopefully the emotion and the visceral response that you're trying to get from the judge will come through
Hmm.
the image, and
Hmm.
it'll impact them and the general public viewers, right? So
Hmm.
that's what you want to go for. And
Yeah,
then you know learn your techniques. You got to learn your technicals, because it does matter.
yeah,
People that just go out randomly shoot and expecting to win
yeah,
contests doesn't work.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's a goal. It's a goal. At least,
Oh
keep
yeah,
it out there. Keep it out there. Yeah. Um,
absolutely.
so what's a wildlife experience that touched your soul or touched like your feelings, emotions? It was an emotional experience.
um I've had a lot of really good owl experiences.
Hmm.
My one snowy that got in the Nat Geo, that was a behavior that was never shot before, which
Oh,
was
interesting.
an owl hunting out of water, snowy owl hunting rodents out of water. That's never been captured before.
Hmm.
Um, so that was one. That was my first really big image.
Yeah.
Um, Almost shut my computer down there.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. 7 o'clock. Um, yeah, that was one of them, because it was like, wow, this I've never seen this before, and I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of stuff. I mean, I thought I'd seen everything with snowies until I saw that.
That is so
Um,
cool.
Next would be the Verreaux's eagle owl. Like again, it's impossible to see them doing what they were doing
Yeah. Yeah. And to
for
have the
so
time
long.
with them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously the barn owls. That was because when we were there and took those shots, we knew we had something that was special because
Yeah.
it just blew right up right there, and it was instant. It was just so fast,
Oh,
and
it's so fun.
yeah. So that's
You're still getting
definitely.
emotional.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. I remember it every second of that.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
that.
that's
Yeah.
so cool. That's so cool. Well, you've had such an amazing like career, and I'm so thankful you've been on, and I look forward to what you're doing next. Do you have plans for 2026? I know you're leading safaris.
Well, we'd like to do some of that.
Mhm.
Definitely going to work on the project with the predator
Yes.
regular birds. Definitely want to do that. Hopefully the owls come back strong. It was a really, really bad year for them, so I'd
Mm.
like to see that come back.
Hmm.
We There's some rewilding projects that we just Tom's actually in the book. Um, we loaned some images out to that cause, and hopefully there'll
Hmm.
be another one of those to come along. Just
Hmm.
you try to do these little grassroots things, um, to get the word out that conservation matters, wildlife matters, and that even us as photographers who are just capturing that moment matters.
Yes.
So if we can share that in a situation that does good, then that's a good position to put yourself in.
Yeah.
So try to reach out to those types of groups, and I don't mind offering my work to that because it
Right.
makes a difference. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I
So
think
more
that's,
stuff like that.
that's the reason we started the podcast, was just to like give more voices to people, to build build community outside of social media, but also to like what you're saying, like help support wildlife groups, and like it does matter. Like we speak up, our
Definitely.
images speak for it. It does really matter. So and everybody's voice matters. I think after, when Jane Goodall passed, you see what
Yeah.
she says and you realize like we each matter, and we have to carry that along. So yeah, I appreciate that. And so what about mentoring and things like that? Do you do that for people?
Yeah, I'd like to do more than that.
Hmm.
It I think people get a little bit nervous about me just because they just assume I'm going to bite their faces off. Uh, as long as you can take correct, constructive criticism on occasion, then we do fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not brutal. Am I, Tom? Am I brutal?
Well, that's Tom and
Yeah,
Trish.
yeah. Tom's really talented too, though. Yeah, yeah, yes,
Well,
yeah,
Trish
yeah,
says.
right, yeah.
But you can't get better if someone doesn't give you feedback.
I exactly, and this circular loop of praise that people tend to, yeah, uh,
In a good way,
that
Trish says.
that people
Yeah.
tend to demand, or it just doesn't work at making you better. It just
Yeah.
works at making more mediocrity, right? Because if you don't get told something's not perfect, everybody doesn't deserve a trophy every day.
Yes, true.
And
That's true.
if the image isn't the quality that you want, then don't tell somebody it is.
Yeah. But I mean, you want
Um,
your mentor to believe that you can make a better image? You don't want
yeah,
someone to be like, well, that's good enough. I
yeah,
used to
yeah,
say to mine, like, just be brutal with me. It won't hurt. It will hurt my feelings, but just be brutal. Like, tell me, I want to know.
exactly.
And
Well,
I want them to believe that I can do it, that I could actually have it in me to do it. So
well, that's right, and you're going to fail, right?
yeah.
And
Right.
if you don't fail, then you're not learning. Like
Right.
Tom, again, bringing Tom back up. Funny enough, we were at the book signing last Thursday, and Kev Morgans was there, and a few other folks, and asked Tom what he specialized in, And Tom said, it was great. I'm going to actually write a blog post about it, but he said, I specialize in failure.
I mean,
It was brilliant because, you know, it's the one thing that we hopefully take into ourselves when we make the mistake and learn from it.
yeah,
You know, but if you know that you didn't make the best image and you ask for any type of feedback on it and you get something that you know isn't true or that you possibly want to hear to hope that it's better, you're just lying to yourself. So just take
yeah,
the feedback however it comes and work from it, right? So
yeah,
yeah, I just have a hard time sugarcoating things
yeah,
in that respect. Yeah.
yeah. We wouldn't know that about you, Vince, at all.
No, no, no.
When we got on, before we were recording, I was saying to you, like, I appreciate it because in my head or in my real life, I am opinionated as well. So like, I appreciate it that you tell the truth and say what needs to be said. So I think it's fine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And don't hold back. 'Cause, I
Don't hold
mean,
back.
yeah.
So, do you have a book you want to promote? If you were at a book signing, do you want to promote that book?
Wilder Britain is the one that's the
Okay.
current one.
Okay.
And it's really, really quite cool. The
Yeah.
quality of the book is stunning. She did a tremendous job on it. I'll send you the link if you want for
Yeah,
it,
that'd be
and
great.
we'll
That'd be
promote it.
great. Yeah.
It's mostly all UK artists that have provided it, and the quality is just stunning in the book.
That is so
She put a
fun.
lot
A
of
lot of
effort.
people from the UK listen. That's exciting to me. And you've
Yeah,
brought a lot
good.
of new listeners too. So thank you.
Oh,
That's
good, good, good.
fun. Yeah. So you do safaris and tours so people can look on your where can people find you to connect with you and to
Oh
ask
yeah,
you
you
about
could,
prints and mentoring and the safaris and all of that? Where can they connect with you?
my website's available.
Mhm.
My Instagram or my Substack.
Yeah.
I think you have all that there.
Yeah. Vince Maidens, vinceMaidensphotography.com. Substack is just Vince Maidens, right?
Yep,
Just
yep.
the authentic voice.
Nah, I should have done that, but I thought of the title afterwards.
I know. I'm like, I joined Substack so I could read
Yeah,
everything for years. Like, oh no, this is like real. Like people think I joined Substack. Oh no. Like
yeah, yeah.
I'm a former English teacher, so I'm like, oh no, am I gonna have to write? I'm gonna have to
Oh my
write.
God, are you proofreeding my writing then? Jeez. Hopefully it's
See,
good.
I can be a critic too.
Yeah,
I'm just
please
kidding.
do.
I'm just kidding. I
Please.
have not
Somebody should.
I have not critiqued your work, but well, it's been so nice having you, Vince. I'm so glad you joined me. We've been talking about it for a while, and I'm really thankful you reached out to me just about the whole women photography thing. And like it started a great dialogue between us and it's continued. So I'm very thankful. And I know you've been really supportive of the podcast. So I'm thankful for
Yep.
that too. And just great. It's been great to learn from you just for this last hour and 22 minutes. Oops, sorry.
Oh, geez.
But
That's fine.
I know your oven's on.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The oven is on.
And I want to thank Robert's Camera for sponsoring this episode and for being so supportive of me. And I'll be speaking there on October 25th if you're local and like to hear that. And you can follow Vince. You can follow me, Jen L. Ritchie. The podcast is on YouTube at Jen Ritchie Photography. And it's also on Apple and Spotify under Wildlife Conversations. But everyone can say goodbye and say thank you to Vince. He was great. He wasn't too hard. He wasn't too opinionated.
Nah, I hope
Nah.
not.
Nah.
Just being me.
Yep, that's what we wanted. Everyone's saying thank you. Great job. So
It.
have a great day. And we can all listen to the Wildlife Photography of the Year stuff tonight, or it's starting soon, right?
Yeah, it's half an hour. I think it should be
Yeah.
kicking
Yeah.
off. So
All right. Well, thank you so much, Vince. We'll look
thank
forward
you.
to connecting in the future.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.